What is going on, everybody? Silver Scrounger here, and today is the day for another episode of Coin Collecting, Discussing Designs. And in this episode, we're going to talk about a really cool coin. All right, so on the last episode, we talked about the Standing Liberty Quarter. And if you haven't seen that one yet, I'll leave a link to that video down below in the description. But at the end of that one, I asked for everyone to comment which design they would like to see next. Some of the suggestions were the Flying Eagle Cent, which I'm intrigued to do pretty soon here. Morgan Dollars, which honestly I think that would need to have its own series since there are so many VAMs and wide range of years and mints. That would have to do its own series. Then there was the Barber or Seated Liberty Dimes, Peace Dollars, Eisenhower Dollars, and even the St. Gaudens Double Eagle, which that one I think would be better set in a US gold coin series. So there you go. Those were a lot of the other requests, I guess you could say, or suggestions. But the most votes went to my favorite dime, the Mercury Dime. This dime design came after the Barber Dime, and it was first minted in 1916. Now, talking about the design, I just learned that they actually had like a contest. They had 3 people in the contest for the new design. And I think it was Charles Barber. I don't remember his first name for sure, but I think it was Charles Barber who designed the Barber design. He was actually in that contest and unfortunately did not win it. It was Adolf Weinman who got it. So the designer of our Mercury Dime is Adolf Weinman. Now they continued the Mercury Dime for 30 years until 1945. And the Mercury Dime is also known as the Winged Liberty Head Dime. Looking here at the wings on Young Lady Liberty's cap, it was meant to represent freedom of thought. But what it ultimately did was make Lady Liberty resemble the Greek god Mercury, which is why it is commonly known today as the Mercury Dime. Now on the reverse of the coin, there is a fasces, which is to symbolize unity and strength, and an olive branch, which wraps around behind the fasces, symbolizing peace. I know, what the heck is a fasces? That's a good question. I had to look it up myself at one time. And basically all it is just what you see. A bound bundle of wood rods, sometimes including an axe, with the blade emerging. Also, you'll see that the mint mark is on the reverse as well. And it's located on the bottom left side between the word one and the olive branch stem. So unlike a lot of other coin designs, the Mercury Dime went unchanged through its 30-year run. However, there are a couple of minor varieties that we'll pay attention to a little bit, and a few years that had both small and large mint marks also. Then there was also a micro S mint mark on the 1945 S, And that is about the only one that it has a price variance with it. Not a whole lot, but it does affect the price just a bit. And also, just like any other coin, condition is a big factor to what it's worth. Here, what I have displayed is a various uh, line of conditions, and we're going to start looking at them a little bit. The first one is probably an AG to a G, like an AG3 to a G4. I'm going to zoom you guys in so we can get a better look. See if we can't get it to focus in on it. You see how a lot of it is flat and details are all gone. So there you go. That is basically what a AG to a G condition Mercury dime is going to look like. Then, as we get moving along, I'm going to leave the rest of them sitting there so I can use my little pointer, a pen. But if you look, some of the details that were right in here start to show up on this one. That's going to be a higher end G. Then we move up a little bit better. This one right here, starting to get a little bit of lines in here on the feathers for the wings. And just a bit more detail on the face. That one's going to be a VG. And we keep on going up and we get more feathers showing up here. In fact, can't quite see that one. The glare is a little too much. There we go. Got the little bit of feathers showing up there. Got a little bit more detail showing up here. And then continuing on. Get a little bit more. You got some of these lines up here coming in. Now, down here, when we get to the VF range, really start showing off some of the feathers in the wings, and starting to see a little bit of separation lines in the hair here and there. Then we get to the XF range here, seeing a lot more of the hairlines, a lot more of the feathers. And this one is pretty close to AU. But you can definitely see a lot of the more details in here. And when I say AU, I know for sure this one is. You can see the hairlines, you can see all the feathers in there. But it's still kind of, it's a little flat. You don't see much luster. So, but when you take a look at the reverse, you can see all the lines in the fasces. See the bands going across and diagonally. Then we get into a BU condition one. That's when we start seeing that luster show up, and a lot of the details are very prominent. It just looks really cool. Then we just get a little bit higher in the BU or MS range, showing off a little more luster, a little more crisp details. The lines in the hair start to really show well. And on this one, you even have full bands. And what that is the bands that go across here, there in the middle, and here at the bottom. There will be two bands in the middle and on the bottom, and you have to visibly see three on top. And the lines that separate them have to be fully intact all the way across. And then, of course, the ones that go diagonally, you have to be able to see those clearly as well. So that would be full bands. And then we got this really nice one here. This is like a high MS. It's a BU. Come on. Gem BU. I mean, look, the luster is just insane on it. And all the details are there very well. Now, I had someone mention to me before that, well, it's an MS, it's going to have full bands. That is not the case. There's a lot of them that'll be a really high grade without full bands. We'll look at that. Right here, I have a 1939 minted in Philadelphia, MS66. And that's a really high grade. It's a beautiful, beautiful coin. But it did not get the full bands designation because it does not have them. Let's see if I can zoom you in on it. And the kicker of them, one that always kicks it down, is that center bands. You can't see a separation in that center band. So this one does not get that full bands designation. So no matter what, you could have one of the highest grade Mercury Dimes, but it will still be or not be a full bands. So I've got one here and got another one here, a 1941 in an MS66. And that one as well doesn't have the full bands. All right, so now let's get to some values and some key dates. Now, a lot of these, especially like these down here, unless they are a very special key date, a really good key date, they're just going to be worth the junk silver prices, which as of today, right now, is right about 19 times face value. So one of these will be about $1.90. Depending on where you go, you'll see anything from 18.5 to, as I've seen, as high as 23 times. Meaning one of these will cost you anywhere from $1.85 to $2.30, which is, that's a little crazy, I think. But if you get into the key dates and the more semi-key dates and some better dates, we'll cover those. You'll find that the prices are insane, actually. We're going to get into those. Now, what better place to start than on the first year of minting, the 1916. Now this one itself is not a key date or even a better date, because this one is a Philadelphia. It's in really, really nice shape. It is a BU one. It does have full bands. Ooh, maybe it does. But this one is not a key date. The one you need to look for is the Denver, 1916 Denver. That one only has 264,000 minted. And I haven't checked up on it, but I'm pretty sure that the survival rate of the 1916 Denver is even lower than that, of course. Now, looking at eBay recent sold comps, you can see that in an about good grade, an AG3, this 1916 Denver can sell for nearly $800. That is insane. I mean, one of these right there, that one for $800. That's amazing. And I can't stand my camera. But yeah, that would be $800 right there in a graded slab. I would, honestly, I would not get a 16 Denver that was not certified and authenticated. I've seen and heard some stories of people buying them and come to find out that they're fake. So yeah, 1916 Denver in an AG3, $800. Now in a good, when it gets up to a G6, it can jump up to almost $1,400. Then there's another small jump to $1,900 in a VG. But then the price goes over double that when you go to a fine condition. This one right here cost someone over $4,000. And I couldn't find any on eBay, and I'm sure if I looked in Stacks and Bowers or a few of the other big time auction sites and everything, you could probably find them. But a 1916D will bust over $10,000 before it even gets to the MS condition. So next, we're going to move on to a 1921. And both the Philly and Denver mint marks are semi-key dates. Don't ask about the 1921S because it doesn't exist. They did not make a 1921S. But for the 21 Philly, in a good condition, they can sell for $80. The 21 Denver is right there as well. And they seem to pretty well stay steady with each other all the way through. And they'll bust over $1,000 once you hit the AU grades. Now the 26S, that one is a better date, but only in the higher grades. Lower grades, it might have a slight bit more premium, I guess you can call it, than a common year. But in the high grades, they'll hit over $1,000 as well as soon as you hit the MS grades. Now, the only other two that are worth a good amount are repunch dates. And it's the 1942 over 41. Now there's two of them. There's the Philadelphia and there's the Denver. Both of them have a 42 over 41 repunch date. The 42 over 1 Philadelphia is a lot more noticeable with the naked eye. But both of them are pretty easily spotted, especially if you use a magnifying glass. And they'll both start north of $400 in a good condition. They'll easily hit over $2,000 once you get into the higher conditions, and can possibly get to $20,000 in a mint state condition. That's insane. So that's pretty much everything on the Mercury Dimes that I'm going to cover today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. It's my favorite dime. And on the next episode, we're going to change it up a little bit and talk about some cents. So until then, this is Silver Scrounger saying thanks for watching and keep on stacking. I want to thank everyone for watching my video. It is greatly appreciated. If you enjoyed it, found it informative or entertaining, please hit that thumbs up button by liking the video. Also comment on what you think about anything discussed. I'm always interested to hear other people's thoughts. Until next time, this is Silver Scrounger saying thanks for watching and keep on stacking.